for listening to Uncle Sam's Soccer Podcast, keeping you up to date with the latest in American soccer. And don't forget to subscribe.
Hello and welcome, Uncle Sam's Soccer Podcast. Steven Jotter and Armand Kafai. MLS special. It's all MLS Playoffs Decision Day. You got to hear. We'll look ahead. We'll look back. Disappointments. What's going to happen to the Columbus Crew? Got a fantastic show. Armand, you were at FC Dallas, LA on Decision Game. Had no Wi-Fi connection, so you were paralyzed when it came to understanding what was going around the league.
Oh, yeah, the Wi-Fi connection was just really terrible. I guess it decided to be really bad, and I was relying on really slow Twitter updates. And, I mean, let's be honest here. First off, kudos to MLS for making Decision Day. I think it was a great success. I think it was fun. I had a blast, honestly. I mean, people were like, are you disappointed FC Dallas didn't qualify? I was like, no, I had fun. I mean, the league as a whole, it was very entertaining to see, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in the playoffs. We have lots of juicy matchups, lots of juicy storylines.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in the next, well, I was going to say a couple of weeks, but playoffs last like 3 months. So, like, 3 months.
Yeah, seriously, it does. You got the FIFA window. Like, what? I loved what ESPN did. The Whip Around show was fantastic. It was 45 minutes nonstop, goals galore. 46 scored today. And it was amazing. Taylor Twellman, I think he is an excellent commentator on MLS, on the issues of MLS. I love his passion. Alejandro Romero.
Moreno, come on.
I just don't get the same buzz with him. I feel he's interesting. He does better in studio than he does game day. So
really?
Yeah, that's my personal thought. I like some commentators over the other. That, it's my personal opinion. Tweet us at Unc Sam Soccer Pod, at Steven Jotter, and if you think I'm completely insane, it's okay. Typically happens. Armand, I want to take MLS as a whole, the entire season, and I want to ask you two basic questions.
Okay.
Was it a success?
Yes.
All right, good. I agree. I think it was a monumental success. Atlanta United, you had trades, you had rumors, you had stars, you had a lot of goals.
It was
juicy. But there are struggles, absolutely. Biggest surprise of the 2017 season for you?
Wow, so this is a tough one, but I don't think it's a tough one at all. Figure that I am based in Dallas. It has to be FC Dallas not qualifying for playoffs, and their absolutely disastrous collapse that they had in the latter half of the season. I think anyone that's seen the team play, you saw them go toe to toe against Liga MX's quality team Pachuca in a historically one-side matchup where MLS is dominated by Liga MX. You have to realize watching that team play. I mean, nothing changed when it comes to formations and play-wise, and they just couldn't buy a win at that point. Dan Hunt could have opened his checkbook and tried to buy a win for $1 million. It wouldn't have happened. The team was just I couldn't believe what was going on. Matt Doyle continuously says it's one of the biggest disappointments ever, one of the biggest failures ever. I have to agree with him. The team was in first place, and you'd think they're going to go to Supporters Shield, MLS Cup, but man, that had to be one of the worst collapses I've ever seen from a team.
Yeah, we actually have Oscar Pereira commentating on the season as a whole. And I want to get to something he says early on in his clip. He talks about the fans at FC Dallas and the support. I'll give you my reaction afterwards.
We express our feelings of gratitude to our fans because what I saw today was a full support for the group of people that still believe in this group and this program, and that was great. Frustration.
So he talks about the support. Armand, how was the support today at the game?
I mean, it was better than average. I'm assuming that's the last
home game,
last game of the season, so it's going to get a little bit of a bump. But I mean, it was a lot better than average. I mean, you heard roars when the crowd found out Minnesota had scored, and you heard disappointment when the crowd found out San Jose scored. So I mean, I think it was a relatively better crowd than what we've seen. Is it a crowd that's up to my expectations as a person who's watching MLS? No, but it's Dallas. So
it's Dallas.
You can't have to lower expectations.
Armand, let's be honest. It's Dallas. Okay, Dallas is terrible, but my feeling is there's a trend. We talked about it in the previous episode how off the field, it's all the newcomers who have the advantage. On the field, it was the old clubs. Dallas was doing well. You had success of the old clubs doing well. That's shifting. MLS is starting to spend money, and there's a gap developing. And Oscar Pereira he sat up there, and I guarantee you, Dan Hunt, the owner, came down and said, "Say something about the fans." Because
no, I don't agree with that because he always says something about the fans. He always does. That's the way Oscar is. He always goes, "I want to thank the fans for coming out and supporting." It was like,
well, you know why he says that?
That's the person he is. It's not no. Dan Hunt said this.
No.
That's who he is.
Okay, that's fair. That could be who he is, but he acknowledges that the fans. When the fans are good, I think Oscar appreciates it because the fans aren't always good at Dallas. He goes around and travels to Seattle and sees these massive stadiums fill up. Atlanta United, for example. And he acknowledges, wow, Dallas, we might, at least some fans show up consistently, and he acknowledges that. I think Dan Hunt doesn't realize that. Oscar Pereira gets that sense. So he appreciates the fans because it's so small to begin with.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, I just feel like when you're a coach, when you're a part of a club, you always have to appreciate your fans. Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's I don't know. I mean, whatever. You got 5 fans, and you always appreciate them. But I mean, he said some things that were relatively interesting. He says that the team needs to, basically, I'm paraphrasing, needs to look at themselves as a whole and do some evaluations. Some players won't be coming back. Some players will. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know who's going to be coming back. I mean, I have a feeling who might leave and who might come back, but I mean, we saw a collapse of this magnitude. I mean, they just seem solved. I mean, I did a piece actually on Morrow not being as central anymore. He drifts wide, he drifts left, and I mean, you saw he actually put in Javier Morales to kind of be that connector of sorts and make Diaz say, okay, you don't have to come all the way back. You have Morales, he can come all the way back, pick up the ball, and connect the two. There was just something really wrong with that team. I don't know what it was. At first, I thought the offseason signings would be a hit. They were all, I'd say almost 95% of them were misses.
Yeah.
I guess.
Wait. Pause. The Coleman signing. Awful. Can we say that? Like, holy crap, was that awful. I told you that when it first signed. The dude doesn't score consistently.
He did.
Like, everybody mocked me. Oh, no, Dan Hunt spending money. Yay, woo! Money! We're spending! We're going to win the MLS Cup! Woohoo! The dude doesn't score. He didn't score in South America, and he didn't score. Huh? What a terrible signing. Oh, was it awful.
Credit to Steven. He actually did say that. I guess my thing was Coleman had a very positive start, scoring a goal in the CONCACAF Champions League first game, and his runs off the ball were great. He just couldn't score, and
part of it was
unlucky. Nice and all, but part of it was unlucky, and I guess his confidence went all the way down. I mean, we can talk about more and more. I mean, Walker Zimmerman, I love the guy, I really do. But he went from, we were thinking, and actually I was very confident, I mean, he was probably 95% going to get a Gold Cup call-up. Now he's not even making the team, just a starting 11. And there's just so many issues going on. I mean, players are frustrated. Are players looking elsewhere? Do players want to leave? I mean, we're probably going to see a team that's a little bit's understatement, a lot different in the coming months, and we'll see how Oscar and Dan Hunt and Fernando retool this team, and hopefully, it's for the better. And I mean, if they don't change much, they probably won't make playoffs. I mean, I think Oscar maximized the lineup.
I want to get to another Oscar clip here. He talks about, I think, something that's an issue with MLS as a whole. Here it is.
Players and coaches need to understand that the game has to be lived every single moment and every single day. It's not something that you carry it for 2 to 3 games. I think it's just fighting for every point. Today the game just shows us that for 1 point we're not in the playoffs, but it's not because that point. It's because so many games that probably we drop many other points. It's going to be full of experiences for sure that we will evaluate. But positive things is.
So Oscar goes on and talks about the points in the fight in FC Dallas. Like, FC Dallas did not have a backbone this season. Last season, you thought they could pull out any result. Nothing was too big of a deficit to overcome. Nothing. This season, 1 goal goes in, the LA, for example, today, and you thought, yeah, they have absolutely no shot. Today, I guess they, for some reason, wanted to show up and play. But I think this issue of not having greater emphasis on earlier games in the regular season is an issue across the league. But some of these players can shut it down at 2-0 or 2, rather than trying to fight for a single point in the middle of April. That's tough. But when you're fighting in Europe constantly for, your starting position, every second matters, and MLS still has an issue. I think Oscar has a hard time conveying that to some of his players.
I think, the importance of those games are relatively important in the earlier part of the season. But, I mean, the emphasis on points in MLS, it's kind of hard to give a value to because the playoff system.
Yeah,
it's not like the Premier League where you almost need every point. You never know what's going to happen throughout the season. You can make up a point here and there. It's the wrong mentality to have, but you're still going to have that mentality no matter what. The problem with FC Dallas was in the beginning of the season too. I do remember when they were drawing NYCFC or Portland. And Portland's a quality team. NYCFC quality team. And I think there was one more game. I think it was San Jose, or they lost to San Jose. I'm sorry. All these games. These are points you need. These are home games.
No.
Fortress Frisco. And home games in MLS are so important.
Yeah, and
that we talk about this all the time.
All the time. It's about the home games. It's never about the away games in MLS. If you're good on the road, that means you're a really good team. Look at Toronto. But you could lose every game on the road and you still make the playoffs. That's just how it works in MLS. Road teams suck. It's weird. They just do. My biggest surprise has to be Atlanta United. Set the record today with another massive attendance. So I think that Seattle is extremely pissed because for the longest time it was Seattle with the big crowds, and here come the new boys, and they suddenly wiped the record right off. So it's really interesting to see that dynamic. I think it's been electric. The play on the field has been fantastic. I think this is something MLS needed. Quick, the South American flair, the Caribbean flair, the Latino, Hispanic flair that's been missing from this league for quite some time, and now we're finally getting it. It's excellent. Absolutely beautiful.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm excited to see Atlanta play. I think it's on Wednesday, Thursday? Not sure, but really excited to see them play.
Yeah.
The playoffs.
Armand, we're going to take a quick break here, and we're going to come back, and we're going to start talking about the playoffs ahead. Eastern Conference first. Alrighty, Eastern Conference playoffs. It was set already. We knew who were in. It was just a question of seeding, Armand. And,
2 through 5.
2 through 5. But we knew Toronto FC, Supporter Shield champs, set the record. 69 points. So close to 70. You know what's funny?
So close.
It was funny. They haven't been